the click counts in with a baby's voice because the guy who produced the record is a good friend of mine playing bass for us, and he likes to mess with me, so ignore the baby voice. All of my songs count in like that because he's a really nice guy. So you'll hear the tempo changes. So you're going through a few time signature changes, and then you're hopping into doing that little triplet fill that goes into the punk beat, right? So you'll hear that change happen, and that ramps from whatever the tempo is to 200 BPM, and then the most of the song is at 200. So you guys get a laugh here.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So it's a lot of stuff to kind of register right away. It makes a little bit more sense with the guitars in there, which I'll show you.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So it kind of a little bit more context to it. And then I'll show you it with the click and me playing the intro. So you should be able to hear everything. If you don't, just tell me, I'll do it again because it's very short.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
With the click and everything in there, that is what I hear. It sucked. And then all the songs are kind of, except for the first one that I played, which is doesn't really break into any strange time signatures. It's a breath of fresh air. The last one that I'll play as well is a nightmare of time signature changes. So like it's always a really nice time. Does anyone have any questions about this song or anything in general so far? Yes, sir.
There's some part where you play. It's gonna be hard. It's the guitar goes.
Yeah. I know exactly.
The first and the second time, I don't think you don't play the hi-hats at the same place, right? Do you like shift them or something? Because it sounds. I think it sounds awesome, but I can't like.
That part is super interesting in general because the way they wrote it was that like the guitar part comes in at the start, that whole thing, and the rhythm guitar is on the click, and then when it comes back when I'm doing that whole thing, the rhythm guitar, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm matching the rhythm, which is displaced. You know what displacement is?
It's like when you shift.
Yeah. You guys all know what displacement is? Alright. So, it's displaced by like a 16th note for some really necessary reason. It sounds awesome, right?
Yeah,
but like that's kind of what's happening at that part. To be honest, I don't fully know like how the guitars are working exactly there. All I know is that when we play it, we have never played this song live, but we're putting it to the set, so I've been playing it at clinics for the last week because I really enjoy it. But watching those guys play that on guitar, I'm just going, like, that's insanity.
Yeah.
But that's how they did it. So it's like, one is displaced in the beginning, the lead is displaced in the beginning, and then the rhythm's displaced in the second part, I'm pretty sure. But it's really interesting to play. So that whole section, I can play it for you if you want. It's really hard to explain what is doing what, when, and where, except for drums. Wow, sorry that's so loud, boys. It's an interesting part. Where everything is happening, I'm not 100% sure because I don't know the guitar parts. But so yeah, it's really hard to explain versus guitars. Like it's not the hardest thing to play the click except where you come in for that second half. So that like the second part, the whole part. click.
Yeah.
Although it's straight, you have to hear everything comes in. So it's definitely a tough one. You will get it. The second part of it is just doubles, like. But you have to really feel out where to come in, because it is kind of a oddly feely but not feely at all kind of part, such as my band. Anybody have any other questions at all, or?
Just by curiosity, like, how much often occurs to you to improvise while you're playing? Like,
all through almost every song, except for the syncopated stuff, which I guess kind of takes away from the whole song, because it's about 80% syncopated. I like all the stuff, like all the ghost note stuff and the tom work that's happening during all the solos and things like that. That's all, like, none of that's really on the record. And the next song too, I add my left hand on the hi-hat string, a little rudiment that they do and whatever. So like there's stuff that I do different for sure. Fills I change pretty much every time I play it, like certain fills, the ones that have to be there, but the minor ones that no one really is going to pay attention to because there's like soaring vocals and crazy guitar parts, like I just kind of sit in the background and just have my little fun for once. But everything else is pretty specific, so I can't always just go off on my own tangent as much as I would love to.
Okay.
But I mean, when it comes to writing for the next record, it's going to be a lot of fun because it will be a lot more of my style in there. So I'll actually be playing parts that I'm very confident and comfortable with. Anybody else?